Toastmasters. So if I please get you guys to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get you guys to continue to stand for our mission of our club? It's on your agendas. We provide
A supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth.
Okay, everybody have a seat. I just want to remind everybody to please silence your phones for this meeting tonight. And I would like to welcome our president of our Sun Speakers, Ms. Corey Fonville Foster.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight to be a part of the Sun Speakers Open House. I also want to do a special thank you to all the guests that are in the audience. You could be anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to be here. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for making that first step to invest in the rest of your lives. So thank you so much. I just want to point out Lakeisha Whitehurst sitting in the front in black. Please make sure that you see her before you leave. If you have any questions, you can ask your neighbor. And if they can't answer it, ask Lakeisha. We will be happy to assist you at the end of the meeting. I also would be remiss if I did not say hello and welcome to some of our dignitaries in the audience. We have with us tonight, and if you could please stand so we can match faces with titles. We have our Region 7 advisor, Mr. Charles Gates. We have our current District 66 Director, Ms. Linda Kennedy. We have our club Program Quality Director. Did I get it right? Quality Director, Mr. William Tyree III. And we also have our Club Growth Director, Ms. Maggie Gohagan. We also have our awesome Division D Director, Ms. Nadrian Whitus. And our very own Area 45 Director, Mr. Marty Busser. 43. I'm sorry, 43. I used to be 45 for those. And we have a guest area director, Area 44 Director, Mr. Jamar Skiles. Oh, I see you in the back. We have our, I'm sorry, I don't know what that. 43. 43, there we go. Our Assistant 43 Director, Ms. Juanita Farrow. Guys, you see their faces, make sure you ask them all the questions you want because they are a wealth of knowledge. So again, thank you all for coming. We're going to have a great night tonight, full of fun and full of growth. Are you all ready for growth? Yes. All right. So I'm going to keep this meeting moving along. I'm going to go ahead and call up our awesome Toastmaster for tonight. She has come to us from California. She has been a Toastmaster for several years. She has come to Division D to shake us up, move us, motivate us, transform our lives, impact us in every way possible. Our very own Division D Director, Ms. Nadrian White.
Oh, yeah! There's everywhere else you could be tonight, but you are here. You are here. You are here. I'm excited to be here. Are you excited to be here? Yes. You know why? Because you are in the company of champions. It is only those who seek to invest in themselves and grow immensely and dynamically in their gifts and then go out and share it with the world that come together on a Wednesday night. It's the truth. We all worked hard today. And we dealt with some situations and circumstances that may have challenged us a little bit, but we made our way here so that we could grow a little bit. So let's go ahead and grow, right? Right. Yes? Yes. All right, so let's see what we have going on. I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't also thank our guests for being here tonight. We are who we are because of who you are. We want to share the greatness of what we have in Toastmasters, and we want to let you know that we are here to serve. And so if there are any questions that you have, please feel free to ask anyone in this room, because it is our pleasure to serve you and answer and address your questions. And I just wanted to make sure he didn't take my agenda when he sat down. Okay. So, before I go any further, I want to introduce the word of the day. You all ready? Yes. You got a pen? pencil. It's on the agenda, circle it. The word is germane. Germane is an adjective. Being at once relevant and appropriate and fitting. There are some conversations that are germane and others that are not. That's an example of the word germane. Germane. So when you use that word, we want to make sure that you get some recognition. So why don't you all give a clap, give a tap, hit the desk, something when you hear that word. Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's practice, germane. All right, very good, you all. Very good. I'm glad to know that you are listening. We're going to introduce the meeting roles. The meeting roles. So when I call your name, I would like for you to stand and describe the role that you are going to be fulfilling for this evening. Are we ready? Our general evaluator this evening is going to be none other than the Assistant Division Director and the President of this club, Ms. Corey Fonville Foster.
All right, I will be the general evaluator for tonight. My job is to know anything and everything that happens in the meeting and give my report at the end.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Our Listen Up Master, Mr. John Foster.
Yes, I'll be the listen up master. My job is to ask you questions at the end of the meeting and see how well you guys listen to the meeting tonight.
Outstanding, outstanding. Our all counter, Miss Taryn Blake.
There she is.
Taryn says, catch me at the end.
Yeah.
All right. We'll come back to you. Our grammarian, Mr. Jamar Skiles.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As grammarian, I'm going to be listening to how everybody uses the English language during the meeting and any grammatical errors that are given. That's basically what my role is today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our timer, Mr. Marty Busser.
The role of the timer is very germane to this meeting. For speeches, for table topics, and for evaluations, they are timed. I have little colors, green, yellow, and red, which I will be holding up. Green means you've hit the minimum, yellow means you're in the middle, red means shut up. But you have a 30-second plus or minus either way, so.
Thank you, sir. Ballot counter, Mr. Andrew Ross.
As ballot counter, I'm responsible for collecting and counting the ballots and informing the Vice President of Education of the winners in speaker, table topics, and evaluator categories.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir. And last but definitely not least, our table topics master, Miss Michelle Brown.
Okay, this portion of the meeting is to get people to think and speak on their feet and give everybody, especially our guests, a chance to speak tonight. I will be given topics and you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak on them.
Outstanding. Let's give them all a round of applause. To our guests, just so you know that everyone has an opportunity to participate in the meeting and share in the growth process. We are, as iron sharpens iron, we work together to learn from one another. So as we go through the meeting roles, if you ever have a question, be sure to just nudge the person next to you so that they can answer your question. But that's how we work. We work collectively in the process of the meeting so that we are growing. Right?
Yes.
All right, very good. I have this young lady coming up, and the reason I love her is because I know she thinks every time I see her I'm asking her to do something. Because I do ask people to do true. I do ask people to do stuff on a regular and consistent basis. I ask them all the time to step up to the gap and fill in. And so I'm going to tell you that whenever I ask her, she has never told me no. She may stop and blink at me twice like she's doing right now. And she might think about it, but she has never told me no. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the sweetest people I've had the privilege to meet, Miss Michelle Brown, to be our table topics person. Yeah, so
we need to get a timer's report on the speeches that were just given. Okay, Marty?
All 3 speeches were to be 5 to 7 minutes, and Toastmasters allows a 30-second plus or minus. Chris, 7 minutes, 4 seconds. Lakeisha, 7 minutes even. Charles, 6 minutes, 4 seconds. All within. Well done.
Okay, so now it's time for the fun part of the evening table topics. I need some volunteers to come up, and I will give you a topic, and you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak on it. Marty will give you the green light at 1, the yellow light at 1:30, and then the red light at 2. And I have a handful of topics here that I would love for somebody to come talk about. Do I have any volunteers, or can I start picking?
Give the guests an opportunity to opt out if they want to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Come on, Andrew. Come start us off.
And you're a Toastmaster, you don't get a choice.
All right, make this easy for me. Pick a number between 1 and 14. 7. Ah. Do you enjoy fall weather, or do you miss the summer heat? I know.
I enjoy fall weather. Okay, say it one more time.
Do you enjoy the fall weather or the summer heat?
I was born in Jamaica, Queens, New York, which I've just learned now they just call it Queens. So I'm showing my age. However, I do enjoy the fall weather. I was born January 10th, 1982, so I am a winter baby. So I have always favored fall versus summer. I don't like summer because oftentimes the heat is just unbearable at times. Fall, you get to wear sweaters, turtlenecks, jackets. You get to enjoy a nice breeze. You get to see the pretty leaves fall on the ground. I hate raking. So, to answer the question, do I favor fall over summer? I do favor fall over summer.
Are you ready?
It's my favorite word.
1 to 14, pick me a number. He did 7. That's the word.
Three.
3. Ah, what was your favorite Halloween costume at birth? You didn't really do Halloween? Let's pick something else. How about, this is a fun one. Would you rather balance a pie on your head during dinner or eat with a football helmet on?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty easy.
That's pretty
I
easy.
made
It
my
could be silly.
choice.
It could be silly.
Okay. Alright, whose turn? Sorry, I have to look at. Oh, wait, sorry. Alright. So I would definitely rather eat with a football helmet on because I'm not really into food. This has been an ongoing discussion with people in my life where I'm trying to explain to them why I think eating is a waste of time unless you're eating with someone else. So I can imagine being at home by myself with my football helmet on and not being mad about it. Because why not? I just am walking around with the helmet on. I'm more safe than I've been previously. And you can eat just enough food between the little football helmets to be happy. However, if I had a pie on my head, there's a likelihood that I'm going to get cream in my hair. For those of us who are black females in the room, that is not a joke. Very serious matter. So I'm going to go with the football helmet every day of the week.
Okay, thank you. Oops. Let's see, you want to pick the numbers or just?
Sure, I'll pick a number 10.
10. All right, 10 says, oh, my glasses, let me focus here. Bear with me. Would you rather hug a zombie or a ghost?
Oh my. Okay. I would much rather hug a ghost. Because from what I've heard, I don't watch that zombie apocalypse show, but from what I've seen the commercials, they're very bloody and they're yucky and they're nasty. And I don't think I'd want to hug them. They probably smell because they've been dead for a while. A ghost, depending on whether it's a friendly ghost or not so friendly ghost, their hugs would be gentle because you probably wouldn't even feel them. So yes, I think I would rather hug a ghost than a zombie any day. Thank you.
I think we get a timer's report on the table topics.
Andrew, you are 1 minute, 4 seconds. Karen, 1
All right, thank you. And I think next we are up for, general evaluator.
All right, now is the time where we're going to be going through our evaluations. And I just want to say for anyone who's wondering, why should I join Toastmasters versus any other speaking or communication or leadership organization? I have an answer for you. Evaluations. Just like someone said earlier, you think you know how to speak. I was that person. I came into Toastmasters saying, I'm not afraid to speak. I know how to speak. And then once I started giving speeches, I realized I was not as good as I thought I was. But luckily, I've gotten some really great positive and effective evaluations that have helped me understand areas where I'm not so strong in, and also areas that I'm doing really great in that I can continue using as I go out into the world to do whatever it is that I want to do, whether that's to be a professional speaker, whether that's to speak on a book that I want to publish, or whether I want to start a nonprofit organization of my own and have to speak. So just remember, this is a supportive, positive evaluation where we all get to grow. So let's start with our first evaluator for tonight. Our first evaluator will be evaluating Chris's second speech, Mr. William Tyree.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and in particular, Chris. It was a pleasure for me to sit and listen to you speak, knowing that you're still in the early stages of giving a speech, and I hope tonight that my comments on how I saw you, how I heard you, how I reacted to you would be germane to as a Toastmaster. First of all, as I started, you were very poised, calm, cool, and collected. I deduce that perhaps you might have been a little nervous, hence the somewhat awkwardness of your gesturing at times. And understand that gesturing is a way of helping us with mental recall so that we can move forward. You did have notes present, and on occasion you would glance down at the notes, but one of the things that I noticed when you did glance down is you stopped talking, which is good. That way, you're not talking down while you're looking at your notes. You can maintain eye contact with the audience as you speak. As I heard you, you used quite a few captivating phrases that I thought could have benefited from either a pause to allow us to digest it, or repetition so that it could be solidified in our minds. For example, you said, you gave a definition of burnout that I thought was different from what I'd heard before. And when I tried to write it down, you go into the next thing, and I wish it had been repeated. You also said, those who expect you to be always on and always available probably don't deserve you. And then you said, every day is not going to be a great day. But the speed at which you said it didn't allow the opportunity for just to soak with through you. Then thirdly, as I reacted to you throughout the course of your speech, talking about mental health in the workplace on a day-to-day basis, it caused me to remember that we are human beings, not human doings. And oftentimes we're evaluated by what we do and not who we are. I would look forward to the opportunity to hear you speak more, and I might just make it over here just to hear you speak. Madam Woman, thank you.
That made me excited. Were you excited? Remember, even though the evaluation was for Chris, if you want to write down a few notes for yourself, I definitely will be writing it down. Our next evaluator will be evaluating Lakeisha Whitehurst, who's an advanced speaker, and we'll have Mrs. Mackie Gohagan evaluate her.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What a fabulous speech that was. You can tell you are very experienced. I'm going to talk tonight about the things that I felt that you did well, talk about things that I thought you could improve on, an opportunity of growth, which is what we're all here for, and then my favorite things. Lakeisha started off with a poem which immediately grabbed our attention. She drew every one of us in, and you got me at the pumpkin spice, because I live for pumpkin spice. I thought you had great gestures and a great smile. You were very comfortable up here, and you just made us want to pay attention to you. Your gestures were very purposeful. The low crawl, the firing of the weapon. You can see exactly what she was doing. I loved when you shared the part about your mother and how you were so much smarter and wiser than your mother. Who here hasn't experienced that? That we all knew we were smarter and wiser than our parents. So that was very relatable to all of us. An area that I thought you could improve on is pausing when you injected humor, because you had a lot of humor in there. But let it sink in. Let the audience laugh and hear that. An example was when you had all paid expenses trip to Albania. Who doesn't dream to go on Albania? Just, if you pause, you can let it sink in. I love, now my favorite things. You were so descriptive. I could picture being there, the chip paint on the fence, the hot black stove, the porch that creaked. Could you not envision all that? And then the Vienna sausages and the bologna. I'm like, gotta love it. I loved how you had such a clear purpose. There's no, you just can't walk away from what you were saying to us. What I wouldn't do for my child as a parent. We all would do anything we could for a child. And then the challenge you gave us all to look back on our lives to find purpose, because we all have a purpose. We may not know what it is at the time we're going through hard times, and we all go through hard times and have demons and bad things that happen, but it's what we grow from it. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic speech with a great message, and I look forward to hearing you again.
Maggie, for that effective but positive evaluation. All right, and Charles was our third speaker, but he will not be getting an evaluation tonight. If you have some tips for Charles, please do see him after the meeting. I'm sure he still wants to grow, but he was here as a guest speaker for us. I just want to again thank you, Charles, for making your greatness shine as usual coming here. So just a round of applause for Charles.
He's not allowed to accept monetary tips.
But he does like handshakes and hugs.
Yes,
All right, so our word of the day, if we could just get a report. Did anybody keep track? I know I heard it two times. Yeah, so We're doing good on word of the day. And just because the meeting ends doesn't mean you can't keep using the word. Write it down, put it somewhere, and use it as you can throughout the week. Our Listen Up Master John Foster, what question do you have for us tonight? Just stand up right there.
One question, where is majoring from?
And Texas.
Yes.
Charles said, what does the organization of Toastmasters sell?
Yes.
Chris, sorry.
Yes.
Chris said, if you get burned out of profession, what do you do?
Get another profession.
Yeah, one more, you can go on.
Okay, one more. What did the drill sergeant give Lakeisha to cut the grass with?
Come on, do that again. Thank you so much, John. All right, our odd counter for tonight, Mrs. Taryn Blake. You could just stand and give us your report.
Just missed it.
Oh, sorry, miss.
Everybody got off easy because I don't listen that well. But
We're working on it.
I think I'll just say what favorites were. So I think Chris, your favorite transition is so. Because I heard it a couple of times. I was told by my neighbor that Lakeisha used the word actually as her favorite transition. Again, didn't hear it. Mr. Charles, your favorite transition is but. And do we do it for table context?
If you want to give that feedback.
Okay, well, we all know what my mistakes were. We don't need to revisit those. And so Andrew, I think you're a little bit, you said a couple of times, and your favorite transition is so. And for Miss Beth, I think you used so extraneously one time, but I mean, no, there you are. Okay, but no big.
Thank you. Our grammarian, Jamar.
Good evening again, everybody. Everybody did very well with their grammar this afternoon. I didn't hear any awkward grammar that was too germane. Germane? I tried to use the word. I didn't hear our Toastmaster of the day use Toastmister instead of Toastmaster. Yes. Yes. Speaker number one, you said like at one time, and then you said you there, and then you used is. And in some of the other speeches, I kind of heard when you would have a break, when you would speak, you kind of would mispronounce your word when you try to make a transition. So I think everybody should work on that. When you have breaks, or you're trying to formulate your thoughts, maybe take a quick minute to just think and get your proper words out. So, but other than that, everybody did well with their grammar. I didn't get any poor grammar.
Thank you. And Marty, if I could just get a timer's report from you for evaluations.
Evaluation should fall between 2 and 3 minutes. William, you were at 2 minutes 38, and Maggie, 2 minutes 40.
Thank
Well done,
you.
both.
Okay, so it's now my opportunity to give my report as the general evaluator. I want to first say we did a marvelous job. For those of you who do not know, Sun Speakers has been around since 2013, but as of, I believe, last June, we were down to 1 member. And I was not that person. So we have come a long way. This took a joint effort from really great members and officers. So I want to thank you all for responding to emails, coming in early, helping set up, bring food. Thank you all, because again, we can't have an open house without you all. I want to thank all of our dignitaries that came in as well, because as you saw, we had William Tyree and Maggie come in and fill a role. So again, thank all of our dignitaries for coming in, because you again made this open house a success. I also want to thank Nadrian. And if you think, I do love Nadrian, but I'm giving her extra love today because I called Nadrian at 6 o'clock. I said, Nadrian, please help me. I need a Toastmaster of the evening. And Nadrian, even though I heard it in her voice, she didn't want to say yes. But she said yes, so I just want to do a special thank you to Nadrian for coming up here and sharpening our iron tonight and leading us as the Toastmaster of the evening. If we could just give her a round of applause. And that's also payback for always making me do stuff. But all in all, we did have a great meeting. I hope that each and every guest got something out of this meeting today. We are going to end kind of short because we need to be out of here at 8:30, so I'm going to finish my part up so I can give a few more people an opportunity to speak. But I want you to just remember, or a reminder to talk to Lakeisha before you leave if you have any questions, or if you want to go ahead and make that small investment financially in yourself to become a Sun Speaker tonight. I want to go ahead and, actually before I do that, I want to, because I'm going to, when I leave here, I'm going to be pretty much finished. I want to remind the members to please pay your dues. If Lakeisha is busy, I'll be here to help you. Also, please look at our board. I said I wasn't an artist, but I tried. And we have our goals up here. I will say that as of tonight, we have completed bingo. Hey! So that was an incentive by our district team that we work on a few things. Remember, bingo is still available. William Tyree, Maggie Gohagan, and Linda Kennedy are in here. Hunt them down for a picture because that is a part
That
of.
is part of it.
Yeah, that is a part of member bingo. So get your smiles
Everything
ready.
that's on the plan.
And as of today, we also got Smedley. So
Yay!
we did have Lakeisha go to the awards assembly and she picked up our Super 7 ribbon. This is our first ribbon for our banner. Yay! We are working. We're moving, and thank you to all of our district team for challenging us, because as you challenge us, we will rise to those challenges. I do want to go ahead and give an opportunity. If you need to step this way. But if I want to give our district team an opportunity, if you have any words or anything from the district, if we have Linda, William, and Maggie come up and give us any information you would like to. Just give you a clap.
Everybody did your job. You got your Smedley Award. That's my big thing to promote right now. So excellent, excellent job getting that done. That is going to help you get to your distinguished status this year. By working on the club bingo, that is all part of your DCP. So that was very strategically put out there for you, and you have met that challenge. I'd like to encourage you to get those, schedule more open houses. We are happy to come down anytime to speak and help you in any way you need.
We are a communication and leadership organization that changes lives. As you improve and people see the improvement rate, their desire to want to be a part of the organization that you are a part of. I'm not going to say a whole lot because I know you're anxious to fill out that application and join this club tonight because you see the value and benefit that it has for you. District Governor.
Okay. Good evening, and I'm telling you, it's such a pleasure to be here. First of all, this is what a quality club looks like. For those of you who may not have visited other clubs before, you may not know what is expected from the club. This was excellently done. Everything carried out, the speakers, great speeches. I'm sitting here now trying to remember how to say that, and I'm going to work on my mental wellness. Everything was superbly done. If you look at the agenda, everything was followed through. This is a quality club. If you are thinking of joining the Toastmasters Club, I would suggest you're here, go on and see your membership person and go on and sign up. Otherwise, I hope to see you here the next time you come to visit. Thank you.
We always have to shake hands. We can't leave this lecture empty. All right. Our division director also has some incentives. I believe he can ask her to please come up and just give us a little bit more sharp when we're ready.
All right, come on. Listen, I knew if I put it out there enough that they were going to say, ooh, she did that, and they were going to rise to the occasion. And I harassed them. Do I harass you? Yes, I do. I harassed them because I know there's excellence in them. And if I just help them to see that excellence, that they will rise to the occasion. In like manner, they also have been challenged to get 5 members of this distinguished club, right here, because I'm speaking it. President's Distinguished. Did y'all hear me? I'm speaking that. I expect that from y'all. I have challenged them to rise to the occasion and have 5 members of this club. Now, it can be more, but it cannot be less, to follow a path all the way through level 5. We're calling it 5 by 5. Yes, sir, don't get scared. All right. I'm challenging them to finish all the way through one complete path. Why? Because it's doable, and I'm not asking you to do something that I'm not working on doing myself. I'm going to do it too. We're going to get through it together. But if you can make that goal happen by the end of the year, this Toastmaster year, then we can get together and celebrate as a group. Because ultimately, it's about us becoming the best versions of ourselves. So 5 by 5. You make a decision, choose your path, go from level 1 through 5, complete that path, get it signed off, and we get together and we celebrate and have a good time, and you're halfway to your DTM. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, one last person I want to hear from tonight is our area director. For those of you who don't know, each club is given an area director, and they are to visit officially twice. Tonight is our official visit from Marty, even though he's already been here once, and I'm sure we're going to see him lots this Toastmaster year. But I just want to ask Marty if he has any words for us, to please come on up.
How do you follow what's just happened?
I know.
District directors, the trio, region. The only thing I can say is, as a 4-year-old Toastmaster, I started because I started as a professional singer. I sang for 5 years with the Chicago Lyric Opera. Since then, I've performed in hundreds of productions. But I was always hiding behind a character. I joined Toastmaster because I didn't want to hide behind a character. I wanted to be me. And I have learned how to speak being me and not someone else. And I thank everyone in this room for helping me reach that.
I wanted to end in enough time that you get to mingle, talk to everyone. Again, members, remember, pay your dues, because I really want us to be finished today. If we get them in early, then I'll be really happy, and I won't have to harass you or email you anymore. So please do. And also, again, Maggie's in the back. Linda's sitting right here next to William. Hunt them down. I really want somebody in this room, if not all of us, to get member bingo. I like to brag about us, so please help me do that. And with that being said, our meeting is adjourned.